What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy BT, and today we're going to be looking at these little guys right here. They're known as nail pops, or there's a screw behind you, so what you can call it, a screw back out, whatever you want to call it. But we're going to go over the steps of how to address this right here. So first thing you want to do, you get your putty knife, and you can just kind of run it over the space, or if it's not popped out far enough, you can take a drill, kind of just push it in here, and work that screw back in. Then what you want to do, clean up this hole right here. So you want to get rid of all that excess right there. Then you can take your sanding block, just work those edges, smooth those edges off like that so we get a nice finish. And then what you want to do is get you some spackling. Now this one is color activated, so when it dries, it'll show fully white. You can see it's pink here. So all we're gonna do is get our putty knife, get some of this out, and fill the hole. There we go. Now, you don't really need to worry about the excess because once it dries, you're going to sand it up and we're going to get it looking good, flat, flush, and ready for paint. Now, if you have spots on the wall like this one here that kind of just took a nice little gouge out of there, you can also take the same approach. Get your putty knife, get some spackling on there, fill in that hole flush, smooth it over nicely. And again, once it dries, it'll turn white. You'll be able to sand it and it'll be ready for paint. So here's an example of a larger space. This is where an alarm system panel was. It was taken off. It had the two-sided sticky on it. That's another thing. If you're gonna stick something to the wall, do not use the factory stickies unless they say that it's not. Actually, just don't use it. Use a 3M product. It comes off smoother, easier, and it'll save you trouble of having to deal with this. Now in this case, you have to fan it out a lot wider, so you're gonna have to use probably a bigger putty knife, but we were able to get this done. As you can see, it's white in color, so it's dried. All we have to do is sand it, and it'll be ready for paint. Now, here's an example of some vinyl that was placed on the wall. Same ordeal here. You peel it off, you lose a lot of drywall in the process. You have to use the spackling, put it on there, spread it nice and so it's nice and level. It's going to be wide. Again, we're going to sand it, get it nice and smooth, and then it'll be ready for paint. All right, so here's a spot here that was filled in. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my sanding block. We're going to sand it down. I'm going to use this mud pan to catch some of the dust here. But all we're going to do is sand it down until it's nice and smooth. And you can kind of start from the edges and work your way in because you don't want to over sand the spot that was filled in, but you want to have a nice, smooth, feathered finish. All right, so you can see there how nice and smooth that is, and now this guy will be ready for paint. So you can see how nice these look. You can see this one is here, how nice and smooth that finishes. And so after you sand everything down, it's gonna look real nice, smooth, and it's basically ready for a nice coat of paint. Feels pretty good. And here you can see the bigger spot, how nice that looks as well. And all you do at this point is you go ahead and you get your paint ready. It'll probably take about 2 coats of paint, and then it's like it never happened. And when you're painting, I'd probably use a roller for a nice smooth finish. The paintbrush, not really applicable here. Go ahead and get yourself a roller and roll these spots away. And here is the finished product. And here is the biggest one of them all. Notice anything? Yeah, it's like it never happened. It's your boy BT. Thank you for checking out this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.